sir.
Next, we get to hear from Rowena's sons, Ed and Seth, in that order.
You can all call me Ed. It's a Friday morning. I'm sitting in my front room in Milton, Freewater, Oregon, and I get a call. Seth, my brother, says, Ival's gone. We have some picture windows in our front room that overlook the porch. And I immediately, my eyes glaze over and I'm staring outside. And all of a sudden I catch some movement on the porch in the bushes. And I see these little juncos. Juncos are little birds that are found in the mountains. They come down when it gets cold. And they have little black heads, brown bodies, and white tails. And I see these two little juncos, and they hop out of the bush, and they hop out onto the porch, into the cement. One's a little bit older, and is following. At first I thought it was a pair, but it turned out to be two males. And the older one starts hopping around, coming closer. And the other one's just watching and following him as he moves around, and they're making a little pecking on the concrete. And all of a sudden there's a movement and startled both birds, and the older junco flew right at me, hit the window, and it broke his neck. And he falls down on the ground, and he goes through his death throes. Another little junco just stares and looks at him, cocks his head, hops over, and he's waiting for him to get up. Doesn't get up. My relationship with Ival, I highly respected the man. I looked up to him, especially in his relationship with my mom and his dear heart, and how much they connected with each other, how much they loved each other, and what he went through, the challenges that he had. He always loved his Lord, and he was an example, and he shared that with me all the time, especially towards the end. We'd have conversations on the phone, offering me words of wisdom and encouragement. One of the funnest things I remember doing, my mom's in, I don't know if you know, she has these throat things with names on them and gratitudes and everything. And so I'm thinking, what are these? And she goes, we have to play this. And this is breakfast. And I look at Ival, and he's nodding his head like, we'll do it. So we do it. And it was so fun, and the three of us really enjoyed that. I would say one of my most fondest memories of Ival, though, and one which I really treasure, and I didn't know this about him, but he liked to watch romantic movies. And I love romantic movies as well. And we would be this particular time we were watching, and always towards the end, I always get teary-eyed. My wife thinks I'm weird. But I got teary-eyed, and I was kind of trying to be sly about it. And I look over at Ival, and he's crying too. And so that really touched me that he had that much romantic romance in his heart there. I would say the biggest thing though over the years was Ival's love for my mom and what he went through there as far as their relationship challenges, their ups and downs. And through that, I watched them grow closer and closer. And it was very moving for me and inspirational seeing that. And I just wanted to share with you all that Ival's love for God, his love for Jesus, and that example that he shared and he lived it, to me, speaks more than anything else. And that little Junko, I was that little Junko. And I think God brought those Junkos there for me. Because it was painful. And it hurt when I got the news. So I think God knows when the little sparrows fall. Ival was no little sparrow though. And Ival was a man that I will always treasure in my heart, and he will always be special. Thank you.
The charisma that Ival had for me was amazing. Very dynamic man. He sorely missed. It was like a breath held died for me. Yeah, really miss him. Thank you all for coming.